Hi, I'm Ruchika. I live in a small town in India. I'm 25 years old now, but my story began when I was just a little girl. This is the story of my English learning journey. It is full of dreams, problems, small wins, and big lessons. I hope my story helps you and gives you the courage to keep learning English. I was about 8 years old when I first heard English in school. My English teacher walked into the class and said, "Good morning, children." We all stood up and repeated. I did not understand what those words meant, but they sounded nice. I felt happy saying them. That was my first real connection with English. My school was small. Most of the students spoke Hindi, and some spoke other local languages. We had English class every day, but it was not enough. We learned a few words and sentences like, "My name is Ruchika. This is a pen. I am a girl. He is my friend." I liked English, but I was too shy to speak it. I was afraid of making mistakes. When I was around 10 years old, I saw a movie on TV. The actors spoke in English. I did not understand everything, but I loved the way they talked. It felt strong, clear, and beautiful. I thought, one day I will speak like that. But in my town, not many people spoke English. At home, we spoke only Hindi. At school, we spoke Hindi with our friends. English was only for classwork. It did not feel real. Still, I wanted to learn English. I had many dreams. I wanted to become a teacher, travel to other countries, talk to people from around the world, and maybe even write a book. I knew English was important for all these dreams. In middle school, English became harder. We had grammar lessons, tenses, verbs, prepositions, articles. I started to feel lost. I could not understand everything. I did not know when to use is, are, or was. I was afraid to ask questions. My teacher was kind, but the class had many students. She could not help each one for long. I needed more time, but I didn't know how to learn by myself. Sometimes, when the teacher asked questions in English, I stayed quiet. My heart beat fast. I wanted to answer, but I was scared. What if I said the wrong thing? What if others laughed at me? So I stayed silent. When I was 13, something big happened. Our school held an English day. Each student had to speak one sentence in English on stage. I was very nervous. I practiced one sentence for 2 days. My favorite color is pink. When my turn came, I stood on the stage. My hands were shaking. I looked at the teachers and students. Then I said, "My favorite color is pink." Everyone clapped. It was just one sentence, but it felt like a big win. I smiled all day. That day, I learned something very important. Even one small step matters. After that event, I wanted to learn more English, but I didn't know how. We didn't have internet at home, and we couldn't afford English coaching classes. So I made my own plan. 1. I read English storybooks. I borrowed them from the school library. I liked stories with pictures and easy words. I learned many new words from those books. 2. I wrote in a diary. Every night, I wrote 3 or 4 sentences in English. I made mistakes, but I didn't stop. 3. I watched English cartoons. Cartoons like Dora the Explorer and Peppa Pig were easy to understand. I copied how they spoke. 4. I practiced in front of the mirror. I said simple things like, "I'm brushing my hair," or "I like ice cream." It helped me feel more confident. One day, I tried speaking English with a friend at school. She laughed at me. "You sound funny," she said. "Why are you talking like that?" I felt hurt. For 2 days, I did not speak English again. I thought maybe I was wrong to try. But then I remembered the English day. I remembered the claps, the smile on my teacher's face, and the happiness in my heart. So I said to myself, it's okay to sound funny. It's okay to make mistakes. I will learn anyway. A new friend and a new hope. When I was 15, a new girl joined our school. Her name was Aisha. She had lived in Delhi and spoke English very well. At first, I was shy to talk to her. But one day, we sat next to each other in the library. I asked her, "Can you help me with English?" She smiled and said, "Of course." Aisha became my best friend and my English partner. We talked to each other in simple English every day. She corrected my mistakes kindly. She taught me new words. With Aisha's help, I grew more confident. I even started speaking short sentences in front of the class. In my final year of school, I was chosen to give a short speech on my role model. I chose Kalpana Chawla, the astronaut. I wrote the speech myself with Aisha's help. I practiced every day. On the final day, I stood in front of the school assembly and said, "Good morning, respected principal, teachers, and friends. Today, I will speak about my role model, Kalpana Chawla." My voice was clear. My heart was strong. When I finished, everyone clapped loudly. My teacher said, "Ruchika, I'm so proud of you." That moment changed everything. I started to believe I can really learn English. After school, I wanted to go to college. But my family didn't have a lot of money. Still, I applied to a college nearby and got admission. I studied hard. I took English as one of my subjects. I read books, watched more videos, joined online classes when I could. I learned to speak better, listen better, and even write essays in English. Slowly, my dreams started becoming real. Here are some big lessons I learned in this early part of my journey. 1. Start small. Even one sentence a day is enough. 2. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Everyone makes them. That's how we learn. 3. Practice daily. Read, write, listen, speak. 2 or 4. 4. Find a partner. A friend like Aisha can help a lot. 5. Believe in yourself. If I can do it, so can you. Chapter 2. I shared how I started learning English in my small town, how I said my first sentence in front of my school, how my friend Aisha helped me, and how I gave my first speech in English. That was the beginning. Now, in this chapter, I want to tell you how I found my voice, how I started speaking up without fear, how I built confidence, and how English helped me feel stronger, inside and out. After I finished school, I joined a college near my home. It was a small college, but it felt very big to me. New faces, new teachers, new subjects, everything was different. In school, everyone knew me, but in college, I was just one girl among hundreds. At first, I felt lost. Many students spoke in English. Some came from big cities. They had gone to English medium schools. They were confident. They asked questions in class. They gave answers easily. I watched them in silence. I thought, will I ever be like them? But deep inside, I remembered my dream. I remembered the first time I spoke English on stage. I remembered Aisha's words, "You're getting better every day." My first English class in college. The first day of English class in college was scary. The teacher walked in, smiled, and said, "Let's introduce ourselves." One by one, in English. My heart started beating fast. Some students stood up and spoke so well. "Hi, I'm Ananya. I'm from Lucknow. I love reading books and watching movies." "Hello, my name is Akash. I want to be a writer. I enjoy writing poems in English." Then it was my turn. I stood up slowly. My hands were shaking. I said, "My name is Ruchika. I am from Kanpur. I want to improve my English. The class was silent for a second. Then the teacher smiled. Good, Ruchika, she said. That was brave. That small moment gave me hope. In the first few weeks, I didn't speak much in class. I was afraid of making mistakes. What if I said something wrong? What if people laughed? Sometimes I knew the answer, but I stayed quiet. But one day, our teacher gave us an important message. English is not about being perfect. It's about expressing yourself. Speak, make mistakes. That's how you'll grow. That day, something changed in my mind. I wrote those words in my diary. Speak, make mistakes, grow. Our college had a small English club. Every Friday, students met and spoke only in English. They played word games, had group discussions, and shared short stories. At first, I didn't want to go. But Aisha, who was now studying in another city, encouraged me on a call. Just try it once, Ruchika. You don't have to speak much. Just listen. Be brave. So I went. In the first meeting, I sat in the corner and listened. I didn't speak, but I smiled and clapped for others. In the second meeting, I said one sentence. In the third meeting, I joined a group game. I had to describe a word without saying it. My word was apple. I said, it is red. It is a fruit. It is healthy. My team guessed it in 5 seconds. We laughed. I laughed and I felt proud. One trick I used to grow confidence was talking to myself in English. Yes, it sounds funny, but it worked. Every morning, while brushing my teeth, I said things like, today is Monday. I have English class today. I feel good. At night, I looked in the mirror and said, I'm learning English. I'm getting better. I'm proud of myself. Speaking alone helped me feel safe. No one was there to judge me. I could try, fail, and try again. This small habit made a big difference. Over time, I started seeing small changes. I was able to ask questions in class. I gave a presentation on social media and youth in English. I helped another girl who was shy in English. Each time I did something new, I wrote it in my notebook. I called it my English Wins Diary. Here are a few entries. March 4th, gave my first group presentation. I spoke for 3 minutes. March 15th, asked a question in English in class. The teacher smiled. April 2nd, watched a TED Talk and understood 70%. April 18th, talked to a new friend in English for 10 minutes. Seeing these notes gave me motivation. I wasn't perfect, but I was moving forward. One day, a teacher announced a debate competition. 2 students from each class had to speak. One for the topic and one against the topic. The topic was, should mobile phones be banned in schools? I don't know why, but my hand went up. I said, Mom, I want to try. Everyone looked at me. My heart was beating fast. I felt scared, but I also felt excited. For the next 5 days, I wrote my speech. I practiced it 50 times. I stood in front of my mirror and spoke. I timed myself. I corrected my grammar. I even recorded my voice. On the final day, I stood on the stage and said, Good morning. I believe mobile phones should not be banned in schools. My voice was strong. My words were clear. I made 1 or 2 mistakes, but I didn't stop. When I finished, people clapped loudly. I didn't win the competition, but I won something bigger, my confidence. Of course, I made mistakes. I said, he go instead of he goes. I used much instead of many. I forgot to say a or the, but I learned to smile and say, thank you for correcting me. I stopped feeling bad. I started feeling curious. Why is it a university and not an university? Why do we say I look forward to hearing from you instead of hear from you. Every mistake became a question. Every question helped me learn more. In my second year of college, a few new students joined. Some of them were very shy, just like I was before. One day, a girl named Meena sat next to me in class. She looked nervous. I smiled and said, "Hi, I'm Ruchika." She whispered, "I'm not good at English." I said, "Me too. But we can learn together." We became friends. I shared my tips with her. I told her to speak to herself, to join the English club, to keep a diary. Helping Meena helped me too. When I explained things to her, I understood them better. And when she improved, I felt proud. I realized when we help others, we grow too. By the end of college, I was no longer the quiet girl sitting in the corner. I was the girl who gave 2 speeches in English, joined group discussions with confidence, wrote stories in English for the college magazine, helped organize the English club, made friends through English. Speaking up changed me. English gave me a new voice, a stronger voice, a braver voice. I was not perfect. I still made mistakes, but I was no longer afraid, and that made all the difference. If you're shy to speak English, I understand you. I was there. I know the fear, the worry, the silence, but I also know you can change. Here are my tips for you. 1. Talk to yourself. Practice in front of a mirror. It really helps. 2. Start with simple sentences like "I'm happy today" or "I like tea." 3. Join a group or club. Find people who are also learning. Practice together. 4. Write every day. A small diary entry is enough. 5. Celebrate your wins. Even one good sentence is a success. 6. Be kind to yourself. You're doing something amazing. Speaking in English changed my life. It gave me new friends, new ideas, and new dreams. It made me feel more confident, not just in English, but in everything. If you want to speak up, you can. One sentence at a time, one small step at a time. Remember this: your voice matters, your words are important, and you are brave. I told you how I started learning English in school. I shared how I found my voice and started speaking up during college. Now, in Chapter 3, I want to tell you how I used English in real life, outside the classroom. Learning English in class is one thing. Using English in the real world is something different. When I started using English in shops, on buses, in public places, and with strangers, it felt like a new challenge, but it also felt exciting. It made English real. It made it useful. Let me share my story with you. After a few months of practice in college, I wanted to try speaking English outside the campus. One day, I went to a nearby bookshop to buy an English grammar book. The shopkeeper was arranging books. I walked up to him and said, "Excuse me, do you have the book called Wren and Martin?" He looked up, a bit surprised. He smiled and replied, "Yes, we have it. Come this way." I followed him. He handed me the book. I checked the price, gave him the money, and said, "Thank you." He nodded and said, "Your English is good." That one sentence from a stranger gave me so much happiness. I smiled all the way back to college. It was a small moment, but it was my first English conversation in the real world. I will never forget it. One weekend, I had to go home to Kanpur from my college town. I went to the train station alone for the first time. When I reached the ticket counter, the man before me was asking in Hindi. I was nervous, but I decided to ask in English. I said, "Sir, I want one ticket to Kanpur. Sleeper class, please." The ticket clerk looked at me. "Date?" he asked. I said, "Today, for this evening." He typed something and gave me a ticket. As I took it, I said, "Thank you very much." That day, I felt proud. I had used English in a busy public place. No one laughed, no one stopped me. I realized something important. Most people don't care if your English is perfect. They just understand and move on. That made me feel safe. It made me brave. One Sunday, my roommates and I went to a mall. It was big, colorful, and full of people. We went into a clothing store. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to speak in English to the store staff. I saw a shirt I liked and went to a lady near the trial room. I said, "Hi, can I try this on?" She smiled and said, "Yes, ma'am. The trial rooms are there." I tried the shirt, liked it, and went to the counter. The person at the billing desk asked, "Cash or card?" I replied, "Cash." He handed me the bill and said, "Thank you. Have a nice day." I said, "Thank you too." It was such a simple interaction, but it felt amazing. For the first time, I was not afraid to speak English in front of strangers. I was becoming more confident with every step. One afternoon, I was walking near the city bus stop when I saw a foreign tourist. He looked confused and was holding a map. He asked, "Excuse me, do you know how to get to the city museum?" I was surprised, but I smiled and replied, "Yes, you can take bus number 7. It stops near the museum." He looked relieved. "Thank you. How far is it from here?" I said, "About 20 minutes by bus." He smiled again and said, "Your English is very clear. Thank you so much." That was one of the best compliments I ever received. I had just helped a tourist in English. That small conversation stayed in my heart for many days. On weekends, I started watching English movies with English subtitles. At first, I didn't understand everything, but I focused on simple words, expressions, and how people said things. Here are some things I learned from movies. How to say "what's going on" instead of "what is happening." How to say "I'm not sure" instead of "I don't know." How to express emotions using tone, not just words. Some of my favorite beginner-friendly movies were The Pursuit of Happiness, very emotional and inspiring. Finding Nemo, simple and full of good phrases. Forrest Gump, easy language and a powerful story. Watching movies improved my listening and helped me speak more naturally. I started writing down useful phrases in a notebook. One evening, we went to a fast food restaurant. This was the first time I decided to place the order myself in English. I walked to the counter and said, "Hi, I'd like 1 burger, 1 fries, and a cold drink." The server asked, "Would you like to make it a combo?" I smiled and replied, "Yes, please." He said, "Anything else?" I said, "No, that's all. Thank you." After the meal, I said to my friend, "Did you notice? I spoke only in English." She said, "Yes, you're improving fast." That made me feel so proud. Speaking English in a real-life situation like this gave me more courage than any classroom lesson. I started following English YouTube channel. I followed English learners, teachers, and quote pages. I changed my phone's language to English. Every morning, I read motivational quotes like, "Believe in yourself." Every day is a new chance to grow.